Hello, and welcome back to our Japanese 1890 campaign, Rise of the Dragon. We're currently in September of 1917. We're making some tough choices about the future of the fleet. Do we want to try to upgrade old frames, essentially ship frames or hulls, or whatever you want to call them? But they'll never really get to modern speeds anyway because of the designs. So essentially, we're building from scratch certain aspects of our fleet. And we're finally getting to the point where we're getting some of the things we really wanted, which was good light cruisers that, they're a modest size, 5,500 or 5,500 tons. That's not that big for a light cruiser, although it's probably bigger than some of the light cruisers that other nations are building or have in service. Like the U.S. has 4,900 ton light cruisers. Russia has 5,900. France 6,800. But these are older designs. The new ones they're all taking advantage of the new technology that have lighter weight on their ships. But we're kind of in the pocket there as far as cruiser size. I honestly thought ours would be a little bit lighter than average compared to other nations, but it seems we're uh, right about the same, if anything, a little bit heavier. But we are only paying 1,000 uh, per month for each of these builds, which means once we get some more money, we might build another wave of these things because they're going to do something that's really important for us, which is to be ship killers in screens. So they're going to be doing a couple of different roles for us, and we're going to need quite a few of these for our various theaters that we have here, our sea zones. I would really like to have a little flotilla position down here in the South Pacific, and then have like more of a moderate force here in Southeast Asia, and of course our main home fleet. Although we don't really have any major threats here at home at the moment, although Russia is building itself back up. So let's continue on. Let's save the game and push forward. Okay, new fighters. That's nice. 20 more miles an hour speed with, almost the same range. And we are doing good on the reliability on that. Reliability on these early aircraft, it actually means a lot. Like the early ones, they seem to have a lot of operational losses and breakdowns. So is this another Nevada class? It is. It's the 12, 14-inch guns, these big boys. The ones that we wish we had. We got a little bit of battleship envy here. So these are naval patrol. Again, more speed and a little bit more range. Oh, I should have checked the reliability is pretty good so far. All right, continue on. Getting some economy boosts. Um, we do need some money, and Italy is our friend, so let's sell to them. That'll give us 4,000. Eh, it's like a month and a half worth of budget funding. Okay, do we want a privately built torpedo bomber? Not really. Not really. We need you to come up with something a little bit better here. And we're going into the new year, 1918, not 2018. We will take that offer. It's going to put us even further into the red, but this is something that we want more of. Hmm. Do we lose budget? We'll raise tension to keep our budget because we are taking hits. Okay. I mean, if this is what enemy nations are producing for their light cruisers, our light cruisers can wipe the floor with these guys. We won't be able to catch them because they go 30 knots. But if we ever do, we'll just beat them up. That's good. A little bit of tension raised with China. That's unusual. Uh, do we want to? Do we want double tension with some? Oh, we can get budget. Let's go with the USA. You know what? We're working on superimposed turrets for heavy cruisers. That's probably a few years down the road here. Um, but once we do, we could always, be we could always build some heavy cruisers to fill in that gap that we have between our aging battleships and our light cruiser fleet. Well, I mean, we're getting budget, and we'll just go with the lowest tension that we have. There's the superimposed turrets for heavy cruisers, but we're not ready to start that yet. There we go. So we can convert light carriers now. So what do we want to get rid of? Maybe these old, one of these old. Let's see here. We said this before. We're not going to go crazy with this. We're going to convert like one. So let's delete these turrets. Mm, okay, we need to add a flight deck and some air capacity. Maybe a little bit of speed as well. 24 aircraft. There we go. We could go up to coal turbines. That would give us some more tonnage, but what are we going to do with it? Just a couple more aircraft, really. Does that? That doesn't really matter, I suppose. It doesn't add any more time. Yeah, so we'll convert one of these over. And these conversions, we don't care about these. They're just they're experimental platforms. We have to look at these things as being uh, steps to the next thing we want to work on. Yes, we'll take that technology. Thank you, Britain. More hull savings, weight saving on hulls. But things like the converted battleships, these old cruisers that we're getting rid of here eventually, these were all just like it's just like it's a means to an end. This guy here is incompetent. Let's get rid of him. Don't know how he ended up with an actress if he's so bad at everything he does, or maybe he's just a bad sailor and he's particularly good at other things, if you know what I mean. All right. Yep, we're gonna raise tensions again to get some more money. Superimpose turrets on light cruisers. That would have been cool to have when we were building the light cruisers, but it doesn't matter. We have centerline guns, that's fine. And we're probably done upgrading this base up here for now. It's at 70. That's good enough. Now, how close to these are these to being finished? Still a little while. So we'll start saving up money again. Or actually, we can go into the red for a few more months. Let's build a sister ship to the Iboshi. That's the extra one that we ended up purchasing from the dockyard. Let's sacrifice the prestige to get these tensions down a little bit, and hopefully that'll get rid of. It'll bring at least. Hopefully, it brings France down. That's the main one we care about right now. What do we get? Hey, all of them went down. Again, this buys us a little bit more time before the next war because we're obviously not ready. Now, anti-submarine stuff. I'm still not sold on it. It seems a little bit random. How are our submarines looking? Our coastal submarines are looking kind of old, aren't they? So maybe we'll build some submarines in the meantime. Let's do like 10, and we'll get rid of the ones that we have. Hang on. Yeah, that's 79 reliability. That's a big leap. So we will get rid of these old ones. They really are a liability. Okay. Yeah, at some point your ships, like if they're too slow or too old or whatever, 18 more destroyers for some money? We like our destroyers, so don't mind if we do. So we'll build 18 more of those. It's going to put us in the red, big time. Let's hold off on that. Get a little bit closer to being able to finish these first. Mm, let's try to avoid raising tension. Okay, not great. A chance to earn some more budget in exchange for tension. Let's give it a risk. I don't know if that I don't know if that actually did anything or not. Um, if it did, it was very minuscule. The Invincible. This one's being upgraded. Okay. And we'll start our destroyers next month because they're going to give us the warning about. Uh, let's go for a bigger budget. Torpedo bomber. That's an improvement. It's shorter range, but it's a lot faster. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and build these now. We're going to be in a pretty big deficit for at least like 3 months. Alrighty. We are getting some unrest now. Not sure if that's from a decision or from our budget. Ooh, okay. Sakawa? So the design is slower than we anticipated. So it's going to be going 28 knots instead of 29. That's still respectable for a light cruiser. And if we rebuild them, we can rebuild the engines, and that'll get us back up to 29. All right, it might be time to say goodbye to these light cruisers. They're costing us about 500 and almost probably 600 per month. So let's go ahead and scrap those. And we'll put all of our Osamas on foreign station. even though they are obsolete. I wish we could get rid of the Macassas, but we can't. We would lose prestige if we did that. So here we go. So 5,900 tons, 29 knots. It's comparable to what we have. Yeah, that's fairly comparable to the light cruisers we're building here. Although they might outgun us a little bit, but it looks like some of those are side mounted, so they won't be able to use those in the broadsides. All right, so what we need to do is we need some carrier divisions now. Do four of those. And the reason why we do so many is because we're doing the same thing that we do with our um, we do the same thing basically we do with our battleships where we're going to pair them up, and the old ones are going to they're going to get shuffled into the 3 and 4 division, and our newer ones will be in the 1 and 2 division. So we're going to make this, we're going to core them up so they'll be in hopefully in pairs. And then we assign these destroyer divisions to support first cruiser division, carrier division, and support third carrier division. So when we get some of these destroyers finished, we'll better like we'll do like fives. We'll do like a squadron of five, a squadron of five, and we'll pair those up. We'll assign those to like the 9 and 10 divisions. Well, we will auto add aircraft. There we go. It looks impressive with all those aircraft, but it's really not. It's not going to accomplish a whole lot. We'll blame China. China's always an easy target. All right, how are we looking on our cruisers? Pretty good. We could build a whole new set of them. Again, we do want quite a few of these. It may seem a bit excessive for such a small nation as Japan, but these are going to be really important. Eh, we'll give up some budget to be buddy buddy, because I think we're getting to the point where we're getting unrest from our budget. We're at 376,000, which is we were at like 300 and some like a year or so ago, and it seemed like a lot then, and now we're way above that. Yeah, that brought our attention way down with Russia. If we were making Spain or China mad, that would be one thing. But our direct powerful neighbors, don't be don't be enemies with your neighbors. It's just foolish. Start working on some new docks, because we are getting closer to the point where we might consider building new battleships. So check out these new torpedo bombers. Compare speed of 60 with that's actually not that bad. We're already developing some though. Eh, well, again, you have to come on. Let's impress me. These private airplane companies build something that really impresses me. The Japanese Navy is going to be known for its quality. Far and wide, we're going to be known for its quality. Maybe not in our tactics. Our tactics might not be high quality. We're still relying a lot on daring. Yeah, we'll make Russia happy by throwing a match. All right, here's another attempt at a torpedo bomber. It's really not. Actually, it is a fairly good improvement in several ways. It has better range, same speed, actually a little bit better max speed. You know what? We'll take it. We'll throw away our design that we made. It's a marginal improvement, but it's not bad. It's actually not bad. We've cut our budget a little bit. I was hoping our unrest would start to go down, but that may just be from decisions we've made. All right, it is time to start assigning these to divisions. All right, and we have light cruiser divisions that are independent. So these will go set division role of support for our carrier divisions. So first carrier and third carrier. There we go. There's our new wave of submarines. Here's the biggest battle cruiser in the world. We'll design new float planes. Again, we'll go. We have good reliability, I think. So we're gonna go for speed first of all and range second of all. I want to see this new battle cruiser that they've built. What is that thing? Down here somewhere. Battle cruiser. This is it, the illustrious. Jeez Louise. 16-inch guns, an 11-inch belt. That's not really, it doesn't feel like I mean, it's fast, 29 knots. That doesn't feel like a battle cruiser. It feels like a super battleship. Oh no. No. The French government's concerned that we're being expansionist. We haven't been in a war for like a decade now. They can't prevent us from fulfilling our manifest destiny. Asia is ours. Asia is Japanese. Asia for Asian people. We have all these colonial powers over here. We've got France. We've got Germany. We've got the UK. Even Russia is getting a little bit antsy and was taking some Chinese territories. Spain was over here. We threw Spain out. The rest of these colonial powers are next. We might even have something close to an empire. One might say an empire of Japan, although I wouldn't go that far. That would sound too expansionist to me and to other people. But it's not their place to determine the fate of Asia. Your time has passed. We could build purpose built like carriers now. We'll consider doing that probably right around the time that these destroyers are all finished. And then we'll scrap the converted one that we built because it's just a platform. It's an experimental platform. It's a prototype. Spain wants an alliance? No. No. No, no, no. pretty soon, um, they want more destroyers? We have a lot of destroyers. Pretty soon, the sun will never set on the Japanese uh, territory. Again, I'm not calling it an empire. There'd be a lot of hubris there for me to be calling it an empire. Oh, look at that. They have dual purpose main guns. That's kind of cool. It's a neat little light cruiser. They don't have they don't have our uh, torpedoes strapped on like every inch of the deck. A naval patrol plane. I mean, the cruise speed we is the same. We gain a lot of range. You know what? I do like that, and we get more firepower. We're gonna take it. Saves us the trouble of having to develop something of our own. And look at that, China's getting mad at us. Well, it increased because we're controlling the Philippines. Funny enough, it didn't increase because we're controlling like half of their territories. It increased due to random changes, and it decreased because they feel like they're too weak, which is true. That is true. We would, as the kids say, raffle stomp them in a battle. All right, so we can go ahead and design our light carrier. And so the method to my madness is I wait until these ships are almost done because it's going to take us a couple of months to design this ship as it is. And then by the time it's done designing, we should have a good idea of what our budget looks like. So let's go ahead and do that. So how big can we make this? I think it's like probably around 14,000, 13,600. So that's the max we can go. We're probably not going that high. So let's go with 13,000. That gives us a lot of extra tonnage. We'll go with 12,000. We don't need to go crazy with it. 31 aircraft. That's a lot, actually, for a light. We'll go down to 30. And we'll start deleting some of it because we're not, come on, let's be honest, we're not getting into gunfights with these things. We're running away. Although it doesn't hurt to have dual purpose secondaries. So we'll throw in some extra ammo. Too many secondaries. Oh, there's a penalty. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. All right, how about if we do some 3-inch tertiaries? All right, that exceeds our limit. Okay. And then we can make this thing. Nah. I was gonna say we could make it faster, but 28 knots is pretty good. We're still heavy on the top. Let's auto place those so it looks a little bit nicer. You know, this thing's going to be running away. So if we're going to have turrets, let's have them in the midships. All right, and my phone is ringing. So we're going to go ahead and accept this. Very modest little light cruisers. They only hold 30 aircraft. And we're at the 30-minute mark. So that's actually convenient. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm sorry if this one's a little bit shorter than usual, but only about 10 minutes or so. Again, please remember, if you don't mind, to hit the like button. I'm sure you're tired of hearing that already from every YouTuber out there, and sail safely.